Maria back with another video. What you're looking at here is my substitute, since I'm not going to be in the video. This is some fabric that I picked up at the fabric store because I'm going to make my husband another pair of underwear. I like to make him underwear, and he likes dogs, so I thought this would be a really cute print for him. Anyway, yeah, I love making him underwear. So anyway, I was thinking today, a very brilliant lady, had me thinking today. She had mentioned hate crimes, and I never thought of gangstalking as a hate crime. I mean, obviously I believe that it's a crime, and I do believe a lot of hate is behind it. But the more I thought about it, I kept thinking, yeah, it is definitely a hate crime. And the reason why I say this is because of the harsh behavior that's exhibited by the people. The very fact that you're on trial for something that you know nothing about. Now, like I said, the only thing I did wrong was tell my husband that I was of mixed race many years ago. And that's not for anyone to get upset over, okay? But whatever grudge my family is holding against me, and I think it has something to do with that, that is nothing that they ever brought up to my face. So the very fact that it's a little game, it's a secret that they're holding it against me, and they never tell me directly what it is so that I could, try to make amends or repair it, even though there's nothing that needs to be repaired because I didn't do anything wrong. He forgave me, and the very fact that I have my maiden name has nothing to do with my love for him or anything. That's nobody's business. For the very fact that they never brought it to my attention and talked about it instead of going behind my back, and I guess they're kind of in a way, a roundabout way, punishing me for something that can never be rectified because they're not talking to me directly about it. It is a hate crime, plain and simple, and that's the reason why I can't forgive them. I cannot forgive them at all. I'm dealing with the fact that I have been betrayed by my own family, who I am just amazed at. But yeah, this is definitely should be considered a hate crime. And if I was to get active in politics, which I probably won't, I'm just the reason why it's just that there's a lot of agendas that I think get suppressed or they don't get acted on for certain reasons, and I don't know if people in higher places or not don't take gang stalking seriously, but they should. They really should. And all I can do is put out these videos. Now, if I had the opportunity to take some sort of spot and talk about this issue, I certainly would. But so far, the attempts that I've made have absolutely no effect whatsoever. But and even if I was in a position, that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to understand why the importance of why gang stalking is wrong. I'm going to tell you, just like I'm sure you can look at just many targeted individuals' videos, how it destroys lives. It destroys every aspect of your life, okay? Now, the perpetrators in this are evil. They are clearly evil. I don't care what religion they say that they follow. They are into destroying every single last thing that means anything or could possibly mean anything to you. They are excited about it. They are fanatical about it. And I'm going to tell you what, I've lived in this town since 2000, and I've never caused any problems with anybody. But I'll tell you what, I have been treated like a second-class citizen and treated like dirt in this community. And, my husband says, don't blame the whole community. You know what, I'm going to say I'm going to hold the employers that were responsible for this. The people who called me in for job interviews, not just here, but the people who were also influenced outside the area as well. That's a hate crime. When somebody's in financial destitution and they're desperately trying to reestablish themselves and just build their life over somewhere else, and which is their right to do, and people are calling them in for not just one interview but 2 interviews, and sometimes these places were like 2 or 3 hours away, that's a hate crime. It's a hate crime. And, I can't look at it any other way. I never did anything to deserve this. Absolutely nothing. And like I said, the only person who is in any position to punish me would be my husband. and he never made an issue of it. Actually, I do feel better that he knows now, but he never made an issue of it. So where is this coming from? And anything related to my marriage has nothing to do with work. I mean, and that is a no-brainer. That is something on every poster. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So this is where the frustration lies, okay? Because I have demonstrated with all my laws, the laws that I've written on my videos, the things that I'm referencing, I'm demonstrating over and over again that I am management material. And yet, I'm sitting here like, okay, what's going on? This sort of method of evaluating employees should be discouraged among employers. I know that it's a very devilish thrill that people get because they feel like it's an abuse of power. If you can put people's house and cars under surveillance and tap their phones that are not even company-issued phones, it's an abuse of power. And it does build camaraderie among what I call evildoers, That's how a lot of people actually mingle. I mean, because if they didn't have any gossip and any slander to participate in, what would they possibly talk about? But it's wrong. And I'm hoping that, my videos and other videos that other people do is going to help. And hopefully, I mean, you can't instill compassion in people that are evil. I really don't know if you can or not. And it's not my concern because, you know what, luckily I'm not evil. But I would hate to see this. I hope this never happens to anyone else again. I really do. And, it is a crime in every state in this country. And there are laws on the books. And I believe that the laws are written, very well written, but they're poorly enforced. And that's the problem. I mean, when you have people in the so-called law enforcement ignoring your concerns about, being harassed, and they're not taking it seriously. And as a matter of fact, they're participating in it. It's evil. It's evil. And if it wasn't intentional to be evil, then I'll tell you what it is. It's ignorance. And nobody should be in a position if they're that ignorant. Okay? Now, I have displayed over and over again that I'm more than qualified to have a better position. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that I need to leave my town because I need to do it for my own mental well-being. I mean, I deserve to have a social life, or at least to try to. I want to go back to school. That's my mind. The older I get, the more my mind is just extremely active, and it's wanting to take in more. It's wanting to do more. It's wanting to focus and retain. That's just how I am. That's what I believe a lot of my insomnia is about. I can't expect everybody to understand it, but that's just how I am. I've always gotten excited when I've learned new things. I mean, I think I was kind of disruptive in school sometimes because if I got excited about learning stuff, I'd have to stand up and pace around a little bit. I was getting really excited. And I'm the kind of person who does get excited over those sort of things, as goofy as that is. But I need something that's going to challenge me and make me feel, my brain works so that I don't experience those forms of agitation. And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And the older I get, like I said, my mind is more focused. It's more So going back to school is definitely a priority of mine. And I'm hoping that I'll at least find a job that's going to be decent in pay, because it's very important that I have a decent paying job, because I'm being forced out of the town that I'm living at, and the reason why I lived here in the first place is because of the cost of living, because it's extremely, it's reasonable, okay, and that's one of the main reason really why I settled here, and so I need to be able to find something that's going to provide enough income so that I can feel comfortable. And then also I want to go back to school and take care of all my needs. So it's really important that I find something better. And when I mean something better, I believe leaving this town is the best thing for me. Even if somebody offered me a great position here, I just want to leave. I don't have anything in my heart for this town. I just don't. I think it's sadly, I mean, my experience, what people warned me about, I've experienced it firsthand. And then also, the jokes that people make about some of the people in this town, it's not an exaggeration. I mean, I'm not saying I've met some pretty nice people here, but I've met a lot of people who fit that image, and it is quite terrifying, I must say. So anyway, I think it is a hate crime, and if I had the power to change that, it would be treated as so. It is a hate crime, and it really should be looked upon that, and there shouldn't be any leniency at all. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I think about the years. This might tip over because it's like closest to my bed. I think about the years that I have wasted, going to jobs, being mobbed, and even back in my school days. Here's my stuff's wrong. Even going back to my school days, having poor relationships, because of the sabotage, the social sabotage of what I now see, my insecure sister, who feels this need to compete with me when it never ever came into my heart to ever do anything like that to her. But that's part of the family scapegoating. She probably felt like she wasn't popular, and the reason why she wasn't popular is because she's got a convenient scapegoat. It's Maria's fault, so I'm going to blame her and steal all her friends. That's just what it is when you're a scapegoat. But I never once thought of it that way. But now the older I get, it's like it totally makes sense. But yeah, definitely. And I was thinking about my family and my siblings and their spouses, and the fact that I can't look at them as anything other than a murderer. That's exactly what they are. They are, to me, if it was me, these people would be in jail for attempted murder. And that's what they should be. That's what they should be in jail. They should be in jail. But I don't want to ever see them again. I'm extremely disturbed by their actions, especially Tanya. Her husband, Jim, that's the Culligan family, by the way. I was going to post their phone numbers just to be a total bitch, but I'm not going to do that. But, these people, they wear a mask. I'm going to tell you that they wear a mask and they've been doing it for years. These are the kind of people that talk about going to church. Everything in their mind has to be Christ-based. It's got to be, they got to put their kids in church. They want them to be around Christian people and everything. But these people have a very warped view of Christianity. Okay, they basically want to force you to come to Jesus and do all kinds of manipulative things, even resort to lying in your face to get their way. I'm done with them. I'm shocked at my sister Lisa, and I'm such at Jeff as well, because I never thought that they would actually resort to such evil behavior, but I'm shocked. My brother, whatever. He's always been weird anyway, and I don't know his wife very well. I thought she was a nice person, but, it's that past mentality. I don't know her well enough for her to sit here and take that kind of revenge on me, so hopefully she's not involved in it. But, I definitely need to leave the town, and I'm looking forward to maybe finding a nice neighborhood where there's not too many people, and the houses could be spaced apart or something. I really want to get, as close to nature as I can, really. I'm just burnt out on people. I'm just burnt out and wanting a change of pace. But but anyway, back to the hate crime thing. I just got rambling on, but it should be looked upon as a hate crime. It should be looked upon as that, and everybody who participated in it, because the reasons and the motivation behind it was completely unjustified. Completely unjustified. And I don't know, like, for example, I'm going to throw his name out there, because you know what, I don't really care. This guy's name is Steve Landry. And Steve Landry, I believe, put my family up to this murderous plot. And apparently it's his managerial technique to blacklist people and send them on to terrorize them and destroy their financial life, destroy their reputation, and my family went along with it. Now, I'm sitting here struggling. I consider myself to be an upstanding citizen, okay? I'm sitting here struggling, and he's sitting here probably living comfortably in another job, and he has absolutely no worries whatsoever. That is an example of white supremacy. It's also, if it's a religious angle, it's a religious discrimination. This man doesn't deserve a job. As a matter of fact, he's the one who messed up the inventory when I was working at my other job. So, yeah, I don't feel bad about talking about what happened to me because, I think it's a form of therapy for me because, I'm the kind of person, I let a lot roll off me. I really do. But you start messing with my job and my career path, which is the only thing that I have. That's all I have. I don't have anything else. I don't. And believe me, I mean, that's why I've lost so much sleep over the months, and that's why I've been dealing with all this agitation, the severe depression, the worry, the fear. They've taken everything I had, everything I worked for. How could somebody do that? And then on top of it, call you in for job interviews to sit there and basically poke fun of you as you're basically getting ready to die. Because let me tell you what, I had no income for a very long period of time. And these people are fully responsible. Steve Landry's a murderer. Jim Culligan's a murderer. Tanya Culligan's a murderer. Her two bratty, worthless children. To me, they're not murderers, but they're gonna be raised to be one. Okay, because they're gonna grow up to be insensitive people. And that's the kind of parenting that they have been exposed to. My brother, with his response of thinking that it's okay to harass somebody just because their makeup is a different color many, many years ago, to me, his attitude about it, he's guilty of murder, period. Also, my sister, Lisa Hughes, and her husband, Jeff Hughes, are guilty of attempted murder. Now, I had basically put up a GoFundMe account many months ago. I think it was a few months ago. Anyway, I'm starting to lose track of time here. Not one response did I get from my family, okay? Talk about undeserved poor treatment. I never did anything to deserve this. The only thing I did was I was born. I was born into the Gordon family, and I was a kid that my mom was prepared for, so my siblings held it against me. Period. There is nothing I could have done in childhood for them to treat me that way. And there's nothing I could have done in my adult years after I haven't seen them for that many years for them to just come. I think it's just a matter of them looking and comparing themselves to me and thinking that I had everything. I'm going to tell you what. I have nothing. Okay? I have nothing. I personally should be making a lot of money, and had I never moved into this town, I probably would have made a pretty little good, probably not, because my family would have sabotaged that too. But had I lived in any other town, let's just say I was born in a different family, or better yet, my siblings were killed off somehow. Let's just say, for example, I went to Los Angeles or New York or Philadelphia, where, people are somewhat used to seeing black people having decent paying jobs. I had a chance. I could have had a chance. I've been wasting my life in this town, and I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell? I have demonstrated that I'm, like, today somebody asked me about labor laws. Now, I remember right when I was getting booted from the farmer's place, they were making a lot of changes when it came to companies offering health care to employees and stuff, and that was when that was starting to happen, when all this talk was going on. And so I really didn't have the opportunity to get as much information about it. I was able to answer his question today, but it just made me realize, man, I've been out of work and been out of, like, the things that brought me joy for a very long time. I do. I like business law. I like labor laws. I like things like that. I do. And I feel completely detached away from it. But I do realize that it's been a long time since I've been able to go and do the things that I want to do. And I didn't deserve that. I totally didn't deserve any of it. I didn't deserve getting mobbed out of my job. If my family was that concerned, they could have talked to me. They could have said, Maria, they were jealous of my job, plain and simple. They were jealous of the fact that they didn't completely destroy me when I was in school. So when I stood up and dusted myself back off to try to raise my son as a single parent and do the best I could, they wanted to make sure that I was never going to get up again, and they wanted to destroy me for good this time. And that's basically what it is. And they have the nerve to sit here and act like it's a religious issue. These people are hypocritical trash, is what they are. They are trash. And, I'm hoping that one day, I don't know, I haven't talked to my niece in a long time. She used to be my favorite niece. Don't talk to her anymore. She's probably corrupt. But, I hope one day you look at your parents and see what they really are. I hope you see what they really are. The kind of attitude that they have. The kind of people that they are to actually go so far to try to kill off a family member. That is evil. Period. Okay? And you may not think much of me now. I mean, you probably never did. But I'll tell you this. Something is wrong with your mother. Okay? You can take one look at her and see that for yourself. So, anyway, I just had to ramble on. Had to get this out of me. You know, there's just a lot of things, you know, and talking to certain people, you start thinking, this is definitely a hate crime. And, you know, I hope that one day people will see what this is really all about. You know, people tend to not take it seriously because it hasn't happened to them yet. Okay, it's gotten to the point where with all the technology that people have easily access to, and the very fact that we're running around with what I consider